Merhaba. In this lesson, you will learn to give directions and express location. You probably remember you were introduced using possessives to express location briefly before. Today, we'll build on that information. And if you need to review the possessives or compound nouns, please do so before studying this lesson. In this video, we'll focus on location of things with respect to each other, with respect to objects, asking questions and giving information about location or direction. In your vocabulary list this week, you'll find a section of words, words of location, such as üst, alt, iç, dış, which you may remember from previous lessons. In this chapter, your book defines these words as secondary postpositions. You don't need to remember this linguistic term, but you need to know these words. And if you remember them, that's nice, but if you don't, please study before continuing on this lesson. So now, how do we use these words with respect to objects and places? We put them in a possessive phrase. Let's say the object we have is a table, which means masa in Turkish, by the way, just to remind you. Probably you don't need that reminder, but still so. Masa is our place of origin, so we'll give directions around this object. We want to say, for instance, under the table. Under means alt in Turkish, so we're going to bring masa and alt together. Masanın altı. Under the table, right? Remember the basic shape of the genitive suffix, which marks the third person possessor is nın. The initial ne is the after vowels, but not after consonants. And the possess, which is the second one, will take s, se being the buffer after vowels. So, a little side note for you. Let's have another example. And this time we want to say in the middle of the room. Oda, room. Orta is the middle. Odanın ortası. Right? You could use all of these location words in relation to a person. So let's put a person in that position. We're going to say right of Elif or Elif's right. Elif'in sağı. Or you can use a concept. Let's say we're going to say end of the day. Günün sonu. At this point, I recommend you do this first part of the worksheet and then come back because we'll build on this information in this lesson. Possession phrases, like all other nouns, appear with case suffixes. Typically, in this case, locative case, which is de, means in, on, or at, right? So, because they designate locations. So now we want to say that something is on top of the table. We need to add locative case to the possessive phrase that we just made. So we made, remember, masanın altı. We're going to say masanın altında. It's under the table. And then how about the second one? Odanın ortası, odanın ortasında. And then Elif'in sağı, Elif'in sağında. Günün sonu, günün sonunda. So remember this end buffer coming from before the case ending, which is a stressable suffix as a buffer. You see that here. Günün ortasında, günün sonunda. And we say that ne, remember. So let's put them in sentences now. We're going to say the book is under the table. Kitap masanın altında. We're going to say the chair is in the middle of the room. Sandalye odanın ortasında. We're going to say Ali is on Elif's right. Ali Elif'in sağında. And we're going to say I saw him at the end of the day. Onu günün sonunda gördüm. So this is how you put them in sentences. Let's try a few questions and answers. Adam ağacın üstünde mi? Evet, adam ağacın üstünde. Senin sağında kim oturuyor? Benim sağımda Ayşe oturuyor. Sizin aranızda kim var? Bizim aramızda çocuk var. So these are very simple, basic examples that you can use. Your blog post assignment this week will be asking you to give directions. You're going to write about that. There are a lot of exercises in your books on this subject. So before you do your assignment tomorrow, make sure you review them. And also the konuşma of this week is also going to be on this subject. I recommend you study that as well before you do your assignment, blog post assignment. But of course, before that, finish your worksheet of this lesson and I will see you tomorrow. Sınıfta görüşürüz.